So good morning, welcome back to the Timberline Trail in Mount Hood, Oregon. Just broke camp for the fourth and final time, so this is our fifth day on the trail, and hopefully by the end of today you're having a nice hot shower and a big meal up at the Timberline Lodge. But we've still got a fair few miles to go, but definitely looking forward to that. So, fifth day on the trail, decided I'd freshen things up a little bit this morning. So, I got some socks out of my bag that were soaking wet from the first day and have since dried, so they've replaced the ones I've been wearing for the last 3 days. So that's a nice improvement. A fresh pair of underwear, and then I couldn't put that green t-shirt back on again this morning, so I've gone with the long-sleeved sun shirt that I brought. I'm gonna have to wear that one all day. And then I've got a pair of shorts on, which were really just my spare trouser type that I could use if the other ones got soaking wet or something like that. But I figured, why not? Last day, fresh approach. So I don't think I'm smelling any better, but I'm certainly feeling a little fresher. I have to admit that last night, towards the end of the hike, I was so exhausted and I was walking past all these beautiful bleached white gnarly trees, and I so wanted to stop and photograph them, but I neither had the physical energy, the time, or the mental acumen, I guess, to start thinking of compositions and taking pictures. I just wouldn't have been able to do it justice. I was so exhausted. So really, when you're on these long distance walks, it's very hard to stop and take pictures. You're always under time pressure. Even when you come across a place that you would normally be able to spend a whole day discovering, you just can't do that here. Maybe a few quick snapshots and that's it, you're on your way. So long distance walking isn't the best for photography, but you certainly get a lot of enjoyment out of the views. Even the lighting, you know, you go past these places and you wish you were there in the early evening or something like that, but you're there in the middle of the day and the light is harsh and it's just not what you're looking for. So you just got to walk on by. It's a very frustrating thing. This is Newton Creek, first crossing of the day, so let's see if we can do it without getting our feet wet. Not too bad, not too bad. So we had some fun and games in the campsite last night. First one was one of the boys thought they heard a bear or a large animal encroaching on the camp, and he stepped on a big twig and made a loud noise. So he shouted out, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And then had a conversation about what was going on, and then they started clapping and shouting to try and get scared off. But it was just me stepping away from the camp about 3 o'clock in the morning for a couple of moments. And then about an hour later, we hear these shouts off in the distance. And can't make out the names. And it sounds like this person's looking for his friends. I'm sure one of the names was Gus or something like that. Anyway, it was nobody from our party. So about 4 o'clock in the morning, the moon was up, so you could actually see to walk around without a light on. So he shouts a few times and then he goes off down the trail. Sounds like he's looking for his friends where they camped or something like that. Anyway, about 20 minutes later, same thing, shouting the same names. But this time, he adds another name on the end, and it's Martin. And I thought, oh. But still, the other names, it was, I don't remember the first one, but Gus, I'm sure. So I just rolled over, went back to sleep. Well, it turns out in the morning that Bruce had gone off in the middle of the night and got himself lost in the woods. And he'd been lost for about half an hour. And he couldn't find his way back to the camp because there's no trails or anything. It was just clearing that we'd found in the forest. So he was a little disoriented and scared. And what did we do? Well, the other two, they ignored him, and they didn't even hear him, sorry, and I ignored him. I just rolled over and went back to sleep. But he was there in the morning, so I guess he found his way. So this is one of the two ski slopes up here on Mount Hood. I think this one's called Mount Hood Meadows, and the other one be Timberline or something like that. Starts at the lodge anyway. But no, it looks fantastic. The slopes are really pretty good. Obviously it's a summer meadow at the moment, but in the winter I can see I could have a lot of fun here. I have to say that the weather has been very stable for the the most part of this trip. So we had that quite nasty stuff on the first day when we were starting out, but ever since then it's been almost perfect. Oh, blue skies obviously not the best thing for photography, but can't really beat it for walking in the flowery meadows. And in fact, it was supposed to be really cold last night. It was supposed to be a cold snap, and I didn't feel it at all, so it's been pretty good. Can't complain. This little dust bowl that we have here is the floodplain, I guess, of the White River, which on a sign back there describes it as a violent glacial stream, and it tells you to be extremely cautious when crossing. So I think it might be it's not the last crossing, but it might be the last difficult crossing that we have. So we'll go see what it looks like. So we all safely made it across the big White River, and I'm hoping that's the last big challenge, but I know there is one more stream just before the lodge. So you'd have thought it was all over, only 2 miles to go, but no. What did they do? They kick in an extra 1,000 feet so we can get up there for our hot showers and our dinner. That's not really very fair, is it? It's merciless. But I guess if we want nice cold beer, etc., got no choice. Anyway, I gotta get out this dust bowl. It's getting and stinging in my eyes. Well, it's almost time to leave this wonderful place. There we have Mount Hood looking majestic behind us, and if you look carefully you can probably see some of the ski runs. They're still skiing even though it's mid-August. I think they probably finished towards the end of August for this season, but most likely it starts again around October or November when the snow comes back. But as I say, it's almost time to leave. We got here last night to the wonderful Timberline Lodge. Bit of a cloud inversion this morning. It looks very, very pretty. But yes, we had a wonderful meal. Some nice lamb I had, and yes, of course, a couple of beers and a shower and a bit of a shave too. So feeling altogether different this morning. But unfortunately, it's about time to leave. So I'm going to say goodbye to you and hope that you've really enjoyed going on this adventure with me the last 5 days. If you are enjoying the content, then I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. But otherwise, just give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you again on the next adventure. So goodbye from now, and goodbye from Mount Hood.